Okay. I had the mute button on. Testing. Oh my gosh. I cannot believe that. I've been having this issue for the last few days with my software. Here it is. It's the mute button. OMG. Oh my gosh. All right, let me check, see how this sounding. All right. I hope you guys had a wonderful, blessed, beautiful day today. Miss Chantell always wants to leave you with something at heart to think about. I want you to remember, I'm going to say it at the top of this stream. If you got anybody in your life that love you, care about you, show you love, show you concern, anything of that nature, that's a blessing. I want you, I want to encourage you and inspire you to reciprocate that. We all need to be shown love. That's how the world goes around. And that's how you get people on your team. You understand what I'm saying? So, treat that special person or those special people to something special. Okay? All right, now let me check and see how that sounded. That sounds great. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so give me a second. Okay, so let me go to my broadcast stream to see my title because you know I have a habit of talking and not addressing the topic at hand. So I'm gonna make sure I do that without okay, let me go to my stream. Yes, honey. Come on, girl. Where is it? See, it say up and coming. I don't get this. Okay, let me see. Okay. Wait, is this it? No, this ain't it. Okay, wait. It says notify me, so hmm. I do not see the stream on here. Hmm. Trying to figure this out right quick. And 11:43. Okay, so I definitely am on live. Hmm. Shit, I didn't even remember that one. Okay, so let me go to. I don't know why it's not showing up on my computer. This is weird. Okay. Okay, I clearly see it right here. Testing, testing. Oh, it's the Chantell Talk. Hmm. I don't know how this gonna go, but I guess I'm gonna have to flow with it and see. Cause okay, let me check under the Chantell. Okay, maybe I should change the accounts. Switch accounts. Okay, I'm on that channel. I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna just go ahead and talk since it's working on my phone, but it's not working on my computer. It's pretty strange. Let's get into the conversation though. We'll be addressing different things, of course. Listen. Ooh. All right. Yeah. Let's see. All right, let's get into conversation. All right, so I've been seeing some Pan African panels and African panels, and as usual, all they talk about is American freedmen people. Consecutively, day after day after day after day, sometimes twice a day and thrice a day. I'm like, OMG. Can they stand on their own? Can they get attraction and momentum without using American freedmen to do so? And it's very obvious that they can't. That's the whole purpose of Richie Lee Dennis, the Liberian African who owned shea butter, selling shea butter just so he can purchase all of the traditional foundings, companies, arts, creations of American freedmen. Yes, he sold his company so he can take his billions and purchase up all of our foundings, creations, and events like Essence and so forth. And he wants to use this to sway our identity, which is momentum for them, because they can't do it on their own with their own African identity. Nobody wants to be bothered with them or see them as anything interesting. And so therefore they use our identity to gain momentum and attention, like a lot of people do. When Asians want to get some attraction to their channels and BS, products or whatever, they'll come online and say something stupid about American freedmen. And of course, the American freedmen people run over and make them viral by addressing their stupidity. But they're just out to get attention in actuality. Everybody knows there's no momentum without American freedmen's presence. They all know it. So when you hear the word tether, you shouldn't be offended by that. That's what tethering is. Why can't you gain momentum on your own without using American freedmen people? That's tethering. If I have to use Africans to gain momentum, to get attention and get things going for me, because nobody's interested in my kind, and I have to use the American freedmen to get attention and to get things going, that is called tethering. You got to be honest with yourselves. I mean, when do you start being honest with yourself? Tell the truth. You are tethering. When you pretend to be or cosplay or tether as an American freedman and you're not, you are cosplaying, you are tethering, you are pretending. And one thing Miss Chantell don't like is fake ass motherfuckers who too ashamed to stand in their own shoes. Ew. Now that's grimy. That's grimy. You know what I'm saying? You gotta learn to man up and woman up and stand strong in your own shoes. But I understand. Nobody's gonna be interested in you. Period. So anyway, let me continue the conversation. I've been seeing a lot of channels, Pan-Africans and Africans. Ooh, they tripping, they blowing up, they going fucking berserk. They freaking the F out. They really are. I'm like, ooh, oh my, oh my. But some of them were agreeing with us. They were like, listen, we don't share nothing in common. Let's just leave each other alone. And I'm like, yes. Now you're getting it. Look at you. You're finally getting it. All we request is that you leave us the fuck alone. Because we told you long ago your agendas are different from us than ours. Please just go that way and leave us be. And now, we have been saying that for so long, and now all of a sudden, I was hearing all these panels of Africans and Pan-Africans expressing how they're gonna just leave us alone because, right, we don't share, we don't have the same mentality, right? And that's all we request. We delineating for a reason because we don't have anything. We're completely different from you people in every single way. But finally you have gotten it. And guess what you guys continued on to do? Even after agreeing that you agree we are completely different people on every level. You know what you did? You agreed to leave us be. You walked away. You walked away. And you know what you did? Listen. You begin to use our identity, our history, our lineage, our heritage as a costume to progress in America. Now, you must be motherfucking crazy, you cuckoo birds. That is the name of cuckoo birds right there. That is what cuckoo birds do. They fly to other birds' nests and take over. Your cuckoo birds. You were never here to be friends. You were never here to be on some kumbaya unity shit. We get it. And now the truth has come out. You guys want to steal our identity. One of the panels I was listening to today, the American Freedmen lady expressed that, hey, we don't get along on these, we don't have the same idea of how to move forward and blah, blah, blah. So far, she was like, well, let's just agree to disagree and leave each other be. And the Africans all told her, yeah, that's right. One African stepped up. He said, but what about, he didn't want to let it go. Because that one was a first, second, third generation African. And he knew very well in his little pea brain that they can't do shit alone on their own 2 feet without us in America. Because nobody's interested in Africans in America. Nobody. Okay? He understood that. So he pressed the issue with the American Freedmen lady. He said, nah. he began to demand that we work at being one. Let's get through the issues. No, 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 you're acting like a cuckoo bird. We've stated we don't want to work with you. We have different agendas. We strictly want you to leave us alone. But listen, we want you to leave us alone. It means leave our identity alone. Stop trying to cosplay as us. Stop trying to speak for us. Stop your shenanigans. You're not us. This is not you. You have no history in this country. Your history comes from the continent of Africa. You have no history here in America. Your history began on a continent of Africa. American freedmen's history began right here in America. We not only have African ancestors, which I'm not African. That's a whole nother, I'll put up my video and you can go check it out, explaining why I say I'm not African, okay? But listen, for the Africans in America, North America, we're not Africans, sweetheart. We're an admixture of people. We have, some may say, they have some African ancestors, as well as European ancestors and Native ancestors. We're not Africans. Okay? I know this is hard to comprehend because you guys' thinking level is not wired like ours. Okay? We've come up in a way dealing with things that you know nothing about, that you don't understand. Okay? Calling us traumatized, we're going to talk about that tonight too. All right? But listen, the key point is you cannot use our identity. We want to see you guys go and create your own shit here in America. Go create your own black holidays, your own events. Leave our shit alone. Leave us alone means leave us alone. Do your damn thing on your own. Leave our names out your mouth. Stop trying to cosplay us. Stop trying to pretend to be us. Stop trying to speak on our ancestors like you're connected to us via some stupid ass lies of DNA. Just leave us alone. You're pretending to be us, which is illegal, by the way. It's illegal. And hey, to my American freedmen brothers and sisters, it's time to queue up, and it's time to take this fort to the president. Unfortunately, this is a repeat of history. You know, our brothers had to do this with Marcus Garvey, who was causing some tether issues back then. And it seems that we are going to have to do the same thing again in order to put an end to this tribal behavior. It's a form of savagery. When you take what you want from somebody, even their identity. Are we taking anything from them? No. Are we trying to identify as African? No, we don't want to have anything to do with them. That's a few Pan-Africans that's tricking you guys. Majority of us wants nothing to do with African or Africans. Nothing to do with Caribbean or Caribbeans and so forth. We're minding our business. Do you understand? Listen. Listen, we don't want anything from you. We don't need you for anything. We never did. And from what history tells us, we cannot trust you people. You have been weaponized by the government to spy on our people. You're untrustworthy in every way at this point. It'll never happen. We'll never be one, Godfrey. It'll never happen. We are not one. Period. Period. And by the way, you being from where you're from, the very continent of people that was raiding villages and tribes and kingdoms and slaughtering people, kidnapping them and snatching them away from their relatives, leaving behind only little babies who can't fend for themselves, and that's useless to be a slave, and elders and seniors. Because the ones that refused to be chained and bond, they were slaughtered. And the ones that was healthy and mid, teenagers, upper age and stuff, and healthy, they were taken and dragged off. The others were left for others to prey on them. You come from those very people. Your people is not a victim. I don't want to hear anything about colonialism. If you ask me, I would say you guys were open and agreed to colonialism because you had you had completely destroyed yourselves and your land. It was so easy for the white man to just turn to one tribe or another and say, here, come on, I'm giving you these guns and these few items, and I want you to take us through the whole coastal line, and we're going to conquer all. You are the descendant of people that sold people. It's true, maybe you came from a tribe, who knows, that you have lineage to a tribe that was slaughtered and kidnapped and taken into slavery. None of that matters, though. It really doesn't. It happened so long ago. And it happened on the continent of Africa. It doesn't matter to American freedmen. It doesn't matter to Afro-Brazilians and Caribbeans and people in Central America with African lineage. It doesn't matter today. All that matters is that you come from the continent of Africa and you want to represent descendants of slaves around the world. Because if we American freedmen allow an African from the continent to represent us who were enslaved, our people who were enslaved, what kind of nonsense is that? It's fucking retarded shit. Know your place. Know your place. I would never try to represent any other race of woman because that shows me I don't know my place. I would never try to represent white women or Asian women or Ethiopian women because I know my place. The first thing I say is, oh no, Ethiopian women are not dumb. They know what they need to do. Let them do what they need to do. Stop overstepping boundaries because that is what we call disrespectful. You see, it's disrespectful. And that's what you're doing when you do that. When you want to be somebody, listen, that's not gonna work. Okay? You can't come to America, even as a born and raised American, and guide and lead people who come from enslaved ancestors. Kidnapped and sold by African kingdoms that you come from. That is so stupid and dumb. I just feel stupid talking about it. Listen, Let me address this and I'm going to move forward in the conversation. I have been hearing some panels of Godfrey as well. The panel where the with him and Akabar, and I seen a clip somebody played, and Akabar mentioned again. He's mentioned this before in his videos about American freedmen speaking on our indigenous lineage and Creole lineage. I said, oh, this MF must have heard my video because he keeps picking at that. American freedmen that speak on that speak on indigenous lineage and Creole lineage. And then he says this time in the latest video, yeah, because people from Louisiana, they be talking about they Creole and indigenous. I know Miss Chantell always talk about that, right? But they really not. They just African. I'm like, oh my gosh, these people are true cuckoo birds. Listen. You think we're gonna deny who we are to please you, to insert you, to merge with you? You're nuts. I heard somebody on a different channel, let me say this real quick. He said he was in another country, somewhere in the islands, and he said, you think the American government set it up that way for to have you guys fight each other? I say, damn Skippy, somebody see it. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, sir. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Let me explain something. They know who these people are before they allow them in a country and shove them in our motherfucking neighborhoods. They know these people are cannibals, savages, and all they think, they have a fucking narrow mind. They think only about themselves. And they knew exactly what they were going to do to American freedmen. While you playing with them, American freedmen, I'm friends with them. Oh, I respect them. You are freaking dumb. Because you don't know who you're dealing with. You really don't know who the fuck you're dealing with. And you need to wake up. You need to wake up. Ain't no civilization in the shit that you're playing with. But yourself. If you understand what I'm saying, let him who hears understand what I'm saying. There's no civilization in the equation between us and them people, except yourself. If you understand what I'm saying, you better stop playing with them people. They were purposely placed there. They know that these people are tribally dangerous people. Wake the fuck up and quit playing with those people. Get off of those channels talking to those people. Don't you fucking... There's one of them on the channel that literally threatened to eat me raw because I said I wasn't African. He literally snapped the fuck out and threatened to eat me raw. And he was not playing. He tried to play it off later and say, oh, I was just playing. No. I've never heard such a thing in my whole entire life. I hope you're hearing me, American freedmen. That's not to be played with. You guys gotta stop that. I heard a lady on TETHERING channel, she said, we gotta leave those people alone. Stop even talking to them, baby. Sweetie, you on the right track, miss. Extremely, dangerously tribal-minded people. Listen, you know what they did in South Africa? They went and deleted one of the people over there who was demanding that they leave South Africa. They deleted that person. Does it sound like it's something to play with? Y'all better get off of these channels talking to these people. They're not to be played with. I always say, Caribbeans don't entertain them people. You never hear Caribbeans entertaining them. Caribbeans don't fucking play with them. They know what's up. They don't play with them. American freedmen, you have no room to entertain tribal-minded people. Let them make a fool of themselves. If they want to pretend to be us, soon as they hit the fourth stage, you just pop up and say, hey, that's not one of us, and that's that. Ain't no fussing and fighting about anything. They're fucking retards. You just hit the stage and say, hey, no, this is not one of us. Don't come trying to represent us. And that's it. You don't give them any play. Their mind is not structured for that. They cannot understand your conversation no matter how hard you try. They cannot understand your conversation, your point of view. They are from a different world than you, American freedmen. That's what you're not understanding. You gotta wake up to truth, American freedmen. Let me get back to this right quick. Yeah, the guy, by the way, George Jamaican, the guy goes by the name of Elvis on a panel over there with Dinus that you be joining, George Megan. You're fussing with a cannibal, admitted cannibal, about who American freedmen are. What? You're fussing with an admitted cannibal, somebody who has extreme hatred towards American Liberians. What? What are you trying to prove to this person? For what? Did you hear who I... Never mind. Listen, to entertain a foolish person makes you even more foolish. That's all I'm going to say on that note. But back to that Godfrey thing. The guy who hosts the show with Godfrey. Back to that right quick. He goes, yeah, because some people, they just want to, they don't want to say they're African, but they really are. They want to be talking about they from Louisiana and they Creole and indigenous. Yes, that's what it, and they got kinky hair and be trying to slick it back. Yes, I have curly edges. I love my hair texture. I love my skin complexion. Guess what? I'm not African. I'm not you, though. I'm not you. And other people who has brown skin and curly hair doesn't make them you either. Trying to make everybody one person is some real retarded shit. It's just retardation stuff. When I say retardation, it means that you're supposed to, well, put it like this here. You're healthy enough mentally. We consider you healthy enough to make wise decisions, but you lack understanding and you lack comprehension, and it makes you come off retarded and you're mental. Okay? It makes you come off just pure stupid and dumb. Okay? Because everybody is not one. How dumb. Just so dumb. Oh, all pale people with straight hair and light eyes, you're one race people. Well, they got Asians that's pale race, and their hair texture is different from Caucasians. And some of them have light eyes as well. Just the stupidity of it. Oh, gosh. Anyways, I thought to myself, I seen their video of them going to Africa. Akbar was in the video. He showed his family. And Akbar has biracial kids. And I'm thinking to myself, he's up here talking about we're all one. And it don't matter what we got mixed with us, we just one. But I can guarantee you, Akbar does not encourage his children, his biracial kids, to identify strictly as Nigerians. Best believe it. He doesn't demand that his kids go around the world identifying strictly as Nigerians. Because we can look and clearly see that that's not Nigerian. That's a mixture. And so he don't want his kids to look stupid. So of course he likely tell them to identify as both parents' races. Right? I guarantee he doesn't demand his children identify strictly as Nigerian. But he can turn to American freedmen who actually have Creole, who's actually from Louisiana, rooted. Family all the way rooted through Louisiana with Creole lineage and indigenous lineage. He can turn to us and say, no, you have to identify strictly as African, though. The stupidity of these people. The stupidity of these people, though. Are you hearing me? The stupidity of these people. Okay? Your children that's biracial, you don't demand that they strictly identify as only Nigerian, because you know that would be disrespectful to the wife who's not Nigerian to make her kids only identify as Nigerian. That would be very disrespectful to her and their other half. But then he can turn to American freedmen and say, you should identify strictly as African. It don't matter that you got indigenous and Creole lineage and you from Louisiana. Your hair, I bet you be trying to slick down those those curls on your edges. Wow. Whew. By the way, lots of us in Louisiana, my hair is curly, but my sister hair is 4A. Hardly has a curl. We have different hair textures. A lot of FBAs, period. Because of our admixture. And I'm not talking about a different race of parent. I'm talking about throughout our lineage. A lot of us don't have the same texture hair. Some of us have 4A, 4B, 4C. Our hair textures are different. Not all of our hair textures are tightly coiled. My son has 4B because of his dad. My sister has 4A. My mother has 4A. You see. So just to let you know, yeah, all of our hair textures aren't the same. All of our skin complexions aren't the same. All of our eye colors aren't the same. You should know this if you grew up in America. Oh, you're African. What am I saying? You didn't grow up with us. You grew up around our neighborhood. Yeah, that's right. So anyways, moving along. I think that the real issue here is Africans and Caribbeans alike. They truly know. Let me see, it's 46-minute mark. Okay, let me hurry up. Africans and Caribbeans alike. They truly know that they cannot duplicate us. I heard somebody say that before. I can't remember exactly who it was. But you can imitate us, but you could never duplicate us. Ooh, that's fire. You can imitate, baby, but you can never duplicate. You're going to always fall off. You understand? Because you just don't got that soulfulness. Okay? Listen. They want to insert themselves in us because that is the only way they can get ahead in America. That is the only way you guys can progress in America. You guys desperately want to progress. You do, and it's obvious to our eyes. You are desperate for progress in America. But sadly, you don't even know. Your shit is not being built in concrete. You better try to understand what I'm saying. While you over here competing and doing all the crazy shit you doing towards American freedmen, your shit is not in concrete. You know what that means? It can be uprooted at any time and tossed. You better understand. We know this place. You don't. And you guys are super thirsty for success in America. Oh, like children in a candy store. First time tasting candy and can't get enough. Running around the store like chickens with their head cut off. We're used to eating the candy. We know just what it's about. We know which ones are unhealthy for you and so forth. But you're going to try to tell us. We've been here so long in a candy store, we know everything about it. How dumb of you to try. And it's like a child trying to train their parents. A child trying to train his or her parent. That's what you guys are like. We already know what you don't know. See? But the only reason you guys are pushing this because you are seriously desperate to succeed in America, to progress in America.
Right now, he's learning tricks in his new kitchen, which is a big upgrade. But before that,
oh, it clicked off. Yeah, you guys are really thirsty for progress in America, to succeed in America. And so the only way you can do that is to get respect, like you deserve to be in America or whatever. You have to insert yourselves into American freedmen culture, into our lineage, into our history, into our heritage. You go about cosplaying us, talking like you're us, studying us to the core, pretending to be us to advance in American life. That's the only reason you're trying to insert yourselves now, because you realize you need us. You cannot stand on your own as Nigerians or Caribbeans and just make a name for yourself here. Establish your own holidays, your own Black History Month, your own events, your own everything in this country without mentioning or tethering onto American freedmen. Can you do that? No, you can't. Can you do that? No, you can't. You can't. No, you can't. Well, seems to me you're not even trying to do it. That's the crazy part. Why don't you at least try to do it? Try to establish everything about your people in this country Make Nigeria great in America. Hmm? You try to do that, but leave us out of it. And let's see how it works. Stop tethering on to us. That's all we request. Leave us out of your personal everything, your business, your everything. Just leave us alone and leave us out of it. But you guys know that you won't succeed that way. And that's what all this tethering is about. That's what it's about. In that case, I suggest you be like a housewife that never had a job and got 5 children, and be respectful to your husband who provides, rather than talking shit to him who provides. Because if you don't have him, if he leave you alone for the disrespect that you bring in, you're gonna be homeless. Okay, you see how that goes? All right, so let's move along in this conversation. Have you guys noticed that the music industry is steadily fading? Yes, indeed. It's steadily slowly fading. I can tell you why. It's that way. Let me turn my heat up. Hell yeah, let's talk about it. Listen. Hear me clearly. The music industry is steadily fading, slowly, with a creepiness to it. With a creepiness to it. Listen, let me tell you why though. Because it's a lack of American freedmen presence in the entertainment industry of artists today. The industry has been watered down with non-American freedmen. And so the soulful funk that we possess as American freedmen is, the presence is absent. There's no presence of the soul funk, even though they got a bunch of melanated people up there cosplaying American freedmen's. The soulfulness funk is absent in them. And it's simply because they're not us. We can be imitated, but never duplicated. Nah. It is so creepily, steadily fading. People are scrambling to make money to keep the industry booming. And let me tell you what they've had to do to keep the industry booming, because of the lack of soulfulness funk that only American freedmen possess. Listen. The takeover failed, just like the S's flopped. The music industry takeover of immigrants, melanated immigrants, has also flopped. You can imitate, but you can never, ever duplicate. Be careful, because these bitches eat you when they think that they desperately want your shit, yeah, they mental. Listen, they played in our faces, y'all. They were like, yeah, we friends. We love you, brother, sister. Yeah, yeah. Put me up on the mic. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Come on, get on my track. Yeah, 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 yeah. All that kind of stuff, right? Right. Soon as they get an award, yeah, Nigerians rock, we roll. I love Nigeria. This is thanks to Nigeria. And all that ain't get no thanks to no kind of American freedmen who been on their team or nothing like that, right? Listen, the takeover has flopped. The Essence takeover has flopped. The music industry takeover has flopped. No melanated immigrant is holding strong without an American freedman presence, because only we possess soulfulness, funk that the world loves. Boy. They really need the originals. They can't do it without us. They can't stand strong on their own 2 feet without us. They need the originals. The originals. They say, wait a minute, you motherfuckers think you special. No, it's not that. We know we special. According to history, we know we special. You guys have had the opportunity to do the takeover and you failed simply because you don't possess soulful funk. Only true American freedmen possess such a spirit. Okay? Just because people are melanated, same complexion, and have the same hair textures doesn't mean they're the same people. How dumb of you. How super caduper, incredibly dumb of you to think such a way. All right? The soulful funk takeover has flopped. Let me address something else, by the way. Let me say this. Listen. I heard somebody speak on using profanity. Listen, I use profanity, yes, and yes, I do love the Lord. And that person said, well, you talking about the Lord, and yet you using profanity. I hate when people say that. Like, you clearly don't know scripture. Okay? The Bible tells us nothing about you don't use profanity. It tells us not to curse people and speak vile words to tear somebody down. We are not, because with the same tongue is what we have to praise the Lord with. So therefore, God said if you're gonna praise with that tongue, don't tear people down. Okay, and no, the African what I'm talking about is not a tear down. I'm speaking truth to you, boo. Listen. Profanity is words that the society has come up with, like mother, stuff like that. And they say, oh, we're not going to use those words. It sounds too vulgar and gross. Okay? That's what profanity is. The Bible talk about cursing people when you wish death upon them and you wish bad things upon them, which I don't do. Okay, I might say shit and I'll fuck off or something like that. But oh no, baby, I don't curse people like plenty of you do. You don't use profanity, but you curse people. Like, come on, people. Let's be real. Using a profanity here and there, that's one thing. I don't scam people. I don't lie to people's face. I don't try to gank people out their shits. I don't do such things. I don't fuck with people's husbands and all of that old conniving stuff. Me not do none of that. Yeah, I may use a few words of profanity, but I don't curse people. I've heard some of you curse people, and then you turn around and be like, you using profanity. You got a vulgar mouth. I've heard some of you run scams galore on people. And you turn right around and be like, you got a potty mouth. Please stop it. Stop it. Okay, cut the shenanigans. And anyways, he who be without sin be the first to cast the stone. I'm going to leave you with that. Listen. Listen. All we need to be focused on, American Freedmen, is coming together at this point. The time is near for us to come back together in every way, whether you believe that or not, or whether you want to do that or not. You're going to be forced to do it. Oh, yes. Yes, you are. We're good peoples, though. We ain't talking about collecting, unifying with crazies. All of the exploiting has come to a halt. No more exploiting American freedmen. No more. It's come to a halt. Have you guys seen Ice Cube back on the scene again? You know, I'm a big Ice Cube fan. I love to see me some Ice Cube, and he's a brother that's always been a real brother at heart. We know this by his actions, that he's a real brother. We know him by his actions. Even he said it. He was like, you can just look at my history and see I ain't nobody to sway and be, I ain't no fake ass motherfucker or whatever. We know this Cube. All of us have respect for Cube and love for Cube because he's always kept it real. He's always kept it real. I remember him from when I was very young, and he was with the NAA. Was it NWA? NWA? Yeah, NWA. And he didn't like what they was doing. There was some things that was popping off, and Cube wasn't with it. He up and decided to leave a very dangerous situation. And man, when I heard that he walked away, I was like, oh shit, that was dangerous to do, first of all. And second of all, I admired the F out of him for that. I was like, that's what I'm talking about. Whoa. And they started making mad records about him. Oh yeah, they was making a lot of diss records about him. And Q, he came back at him. He was like, wait a minute. I said, ooh, that's what I'm talking about. I really admire a man that stand on his own 2 feet. He don't go along to get along. Ooh, that's sexy. Anyway, he back on the scene politicking. I don't know what he really talking about. You know, I'm not heavily into politics, but I know he's like, I think he back on the same wave of, he was saying he was going to get rid of some people, whatever. I'm going to look it up on the next live stream because I'm getting kind of sleepy. So I don't want to dig nothing up in video right now. I'll look it up another time. But I like Ice Cube, and I definitely would rock with his vote or whatever, whatever. You know, see what he's talking about. You know, we gotta check him out and see what he's talking about. Yeah, that's funny. I thought Africans, I was hearing the panels. I'm like, yes, they finally get it. All we want them to do is just leave us alone. And next thing you know, they out here pretending to be us. But my ancestors, we invented everything in America. Yeah, we invented the railroad tracks and everything, the light bulb, and we started HBCUs and stuff. I'm like, what the hell? Leave us alone means leave us out of your mouth. Our whole culture, lineage, heritage, everything about us. Leave us alone. Leave us out of your mouth. That's the part they didn't get. They thought they can leave us alone and go pretend to be us. Still our identity, y'all. Now, ain't that cuckoo bird shit? That's straight up cuckoo bird. Some people you can't play with, though. That's what the whole thing, all this, you're African. All it's about is simply trying to steal our identity in America so they can progress under our identity and turn us into Africans. Ain't that some dumb, retarded shit? That's pea brain stuff. It's truly pea brain. And they say we jealous of them because they come here and go to school and stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh. This shit is not even worth talking to them about. Like, the people, listen, American Freedmen, the people do not understand you. They are tribal minded. They one track minded. They do not understand you. You are wasting all of your fucking precious breath having conversations with them. You simply leave them alone. If they cosplay us, we call them out, and that's that. Anything else, you're wasting your breath. You gotta learn to recognize people who have no respect. You gotta learn to recognize that American Freedmen and lead them be. They have no respect. They have been showing it a very long time. You have no need to conversate with them. I mean, just look at how they see stuff. Godfrey stated out his mouth that David Ologo make movies or something like that, right? I believe he said he make movies, and he goes further to say David Ologo hired only black Americans, American Freedmen, to play in his movie. He gave them jobs. Huh? Motherfucker, he's using our culture. We gave him job. What are you talking about? He gave us something. You fucking crazo. We gave him opportunity. He's using our culture, exploiting our culture to make money off of us. We're not exploiting his culture because it ain't no money in his culture to exploit. That is how they see it, American Freedmen. They don't see it. They see themselves as coming into your mix, exploiting your culture and giving you opportunity. They don't see that they're eating off us. No, you are making movies about our people. We're giving you opportunity. Because you're damn sure ain't about to go make no movies in Mexican communities and Caucasian communities about their people. You better know that. You better know that. Right? These people lack respect. Their lineage has to gain more momentum. We gotta hit the streets. We must gain momentum. Fast. Because I'm going to tell you this. We may not like everything Trump do, but you better understand he's on the same page with us when it comes to this immigrant mess that we got going on in this country. He's on the same page with us. You better understand that. I even heard a guy called Tariq show and say, listen, we want to come together to get rid of what you guys call tethers. I was like, oh, snaps. He was saying, it's time we should have just given you guys the money instead of giving it to the immigrants. We really fucked up. Of course you did. Of course you did. Of course you did. Listen. You know the saying goes, cheaters never win. Okay? Now they ready to toss those immigrants because now AI is coming in. And we don't, in a country don't need all those workers anymore to do anything or anything like that. They got the robots coming out that's going to do everything. Now they ready to toss the immigrants, and them immigrants like, hell to the no-no-nos. See, that's not our problem. That's why we sitting out. But we do have a problem of infiltration in our communities with the immigrants, the melanated immigrants. And we need to move far away from them as fast as possible. We really do. And it's going to come about. It definitely is going to come about. Okay? But I just want you to, I want to remind you of that. He's on the same page with us when it comes to the immigrant mess that's going on. Okay? I think I'm going to leave the conversation right here tonight because I'm getting kind of sleepy now. Yeah. Think about that though. We don't got to be fussing with those people. We have a president in office right now who very much agrees with us about the immigrant mess going on in this country. Okay. We don't want to go too much into detail about what. We don't want to never expose our hand. But stay strong and remember you are not American freedmen. You are not Africans. Some of you may have African ancestry, and now you have an admixture of African ancestry. Dudes who've been born in America. Your African ancestor who came from the continent of Africa, kidnapped and sold by Africans to Europeans. When they got to America, when they forced them to America as slaves, they began to breed the enslavers' babies and also natives. So you are an admixture. You are not an African. You know nothing about Africa. Your history starts right here in America. Your ancestor from Africa history started in Africa. not yours. And some of us don't have African ancestry at all. You see, and some may have one African ancestor. It's a little complicated, yes, we know, but hey. And of course, like myself, I don't believe we are Africans at all. I believe our people come from the Middle East and fled to safety into North Africa, where they settled near other nations of people and built. And African kingdoms raided not just West Africa for slaves and not just Central Africa for slaves. Even they went down to some of South Africa and raided for slaves. Even to East Africa and raided for slaves. Let me explain something to you. They even went to North Africa and raided for slaves. I, Miss Chantell, am a biblical believer, and I believe that the people of North America that was brought as slaves to America, which was very, very, very few, way less than hundreds thousand. It was only a few thousand. They were raided from North Africa, the line of Judah. We're not Africans. Our people come from the Middle East. We're not Africans. People back then, even in the Middle East, were dark with coily hair textures. Do you understand what I'm saying? You're not African just because you have melanated skin and coily hair. That's the dumbest. Where do you think African came from? It's a made up construct by white people to maintain control over other people they conquered. So see, when they tell you you're African, that means they don't know the history of Africa themselves. Because before Africa was Africa, what was Africa called? It was just a landmass where they had a bunch of people living, a bunch of different varieties of people. Do Ethiopians look like West Africans? Do West Africans look like South Africans? South Africans them Zulu people have a very unique look to them. We know when we see a lot of them versus West Africans, okay? None of those people look alike. They all have their own very distinctive looks in different cultures and languages. None of them are the same. Many of the people that was on the land mass they call Africa today, Africa was a trading hub. Many of those people were not even from that landmass, but they migrated there, settled there, and built nations and kingdoms there. Okay, so just because some people were raided and kidnapped, it don't even mean they were people of that landmass. Think about it. Thank you for tuning in with Miss Chantell tonight. I hope you listen to the whole video and I hope you learn something. Listen, we don't have to get violent because we're not tribal people, American freedmen. We're a people of progress. Listen, we don't have no playtime to entertain tribal-minded people. Let's focus on us. They can't do anything without us. And they're no longer gonna pretend to be us, because we're about to get a bill passed where you're not about to pretend to be us. Okay? So with that being said, working on our identity protection. Other than that, we're good. They can't do anything without us. Let them try. Thank you for tuning in again with Miss Chantell. Hit the thumbs up, drop a comment, let me know what you think about the video content. Good night.